Before SUVs were cool, this changed the game. This is the Matchbox 1964 Jeep Wagoneer. Let's dive into the history of this Jeep Wagoneer and see what makes it so special. Before SUVs filled school parking lots and grocery store lines, before luxury off-roaders became normal, there was the Jeep Wagoneer. The Wagoneer was introduced for the 1963 model year by Kaiser Jeep, and it completely changed the direction of American vehicles. Up until this point, most four-wheel drive vehicles were basic, rugged, and built primarily for work. They were tough, but they weren't comfortable. The Wagoneer was different. Jeep set out to build something that blended true off-road capability with passenger car comfort. They wanted a vehicle that could handle mud, snow, and trails, but also take your family to church or out to dinner. And in doing that, they essentially created what we now know as the modern SUV. One of the most groundbreaking features of it was its engine. The 1964 Wagoneer came standard with the Tornado 230 cubic inch inline six, a 3.8-liter overhead cam engine producing around 140 horsepower and roughly 210 pound-feet of torque. Now that might not sound impressive today, but in the early 1960s, an overhead cam engine in a four-wheel drive vehicle was very unusual. Most trucks of that era used simpler pushrod engines. Jeep was pushing innovation. It came standard with a 3-speed manual transmission, but here's where things really get interesting. You could also order it with a 3-speed automatic. That made the Wagoneer one of the first 4x4 vehicles ever offered with an automatic transmission. That was a big deal. It meant you didn't have to sacrifice convenience for capability. Buyers could choose between rear-wheel drive or part-time four-wheel drive. The 4x4 system used a 2-speed transfer case with manual locking hubs, allowing drivers to switch between high and low ranges depending on terrain. It was rugged enough for serious off-road use, but refined enough for daily driving. The Wagoneer was available in both 2-door and 4-door wagon configurations and could comfortably seat up to 6 passengers, depending on interior layout. It had large windows, a roomy cabin, and interior finishes that felt closer to a passenger car than a work truck. That combination of utility and comfort was revolutionary. Performance numbers weren't sports car quick. Top speed was around the high 80 mile per hour range, but that wasn't the point. The point was versatility. This vehicle could do almost anything. When it debuted, pricing started in the low $3,000 range, depending on options and drivetrain, putting it within reach of middle-class families who wanted something more capable than a standard station wagon. And here's what makes the story even more powerful. The Wagoneer stayed in production in evolving forms all the way until 1991. That's nearly 3 decades of continuous production, one of the longest runs in American automotive history. Over time, it would become more luxurious, eventually paving the way for the high-end SUVs long before that segment officially existed. In many ways, the Wagoneer was ahead of its time. It predicted the future. Today, clean early Wagoneers have become highly collectible, with restored examples bringing strong numbers at auctions and enthusiast sales. Let's take a look on Bring a Trailer and see what a few of them have sold for in the not too distant past. All right, here's one. Hasn't even sold yet. This is actually currently up for auction on Bring a Trailer, but I thought it was kind of cool because it's the same color and everything as the Matchbox version we're looking at. Right now, this one's up at $12,500, but I'm sure it'll probably double that or more before it sells. It's a 1964 4x4 3-speed. This one shows 81,000 miles. It's in West Palm Beach, Florida. Very nice looking vehicle, very clean looking, that's for sure. Wow, that'd be a cool one to have. Love the interior too. I love that simplicity of those bench seats. So yeah, you could fit 3 people in each of those bench seats and get a total of 6 people in there potentially. Yeah, I love that simplicity of the older vehicles like that dashboard and everything, steering wheel. There's the 230 inline 6. The only American-made overhead cam automotive engine being produced at that time. That's amazing. It says it features hemispherical combustion chambers and a 6-lobe camshaft. Now here's another one. This one sold, let's see, actually I guess it just sold just last week. This one sold for $13,500. And I'm not sure if those wheels are stock on this vehicle or not. I suppose maybe they are. They kind of go with the graphics on the side. And this one shows 7,000 miles. Oh, it's a rolled up odometer, so who knows exactly what it has on it. 3-speed automatic on this one. There's the basic interior. There's that engine. And then here's one that's sold back in 2020. There's only been a few of these on Bring a Trailer in the last few years, so this is a little while back. This one sold for $14,000. Shows 43,000 miles, but total miles unknown, it says. And this one is in Pennsylvania. There's the bench seat. It's got cloth inserts on it. Yeah, very cool. The Jeep Wagoneer was a simple, capable, and honest utility vehicle. And that's why even in diecast form, whether it's a Matchbox model or the real thing, this vehicle matters. Because trucks like this weren't built just to work. They're built to lead. And trucks like this are meant to be seen.